I don't want people to go down the path thinking they're going to have a great result and then turn around and lose their money, fall into a pit where they just lost 50, 60, $100,000.
Look at it. I think that's got a little bit to be determined still. Right now, I think it's a great tool to get a high level thinking, get your points across. From an IP federal standpoint, they're saying that anything that AI creates for you is technically not your IP. I don't know where that ruling is going to come down, but it's just things you got to navigate. It's a really good tool. There's physical things that AI cannot do.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. I'll go a step further. I think it's great. I think AI is the best thing since the internet, right? However, just like the internet proved to us, there can be some dangerous things that come out of having people being able to communicate online. I mean, I know this is probably the wrong subject to bring up right now,
No,
but
it's a reality
I believe
show.
that the whole pedophile challenge we have in this country has a lot to do with the internet, and that scares the daylights out of me. And I shockingly say that because I think AI could have a similar situation when it comes to the information that people are getting from it. Everybody believes it's 100% accurate and true, and it really isn't. I mean, it's in its infancy stages right now, and it's learning and getting better. But by no means should everybody take what's on what AI says to be 100% factual. I think we're years away from that happening. It's got to learn.
It's where's it's gathering its facts from.
Exactly.
Somebody that wrote it somewhere in a piece of content online. So if that information was all approved and ready to go and was perfectly, there was no dispute that was the truth, AI is going to get it right. To me, I will tell you, AI is becoming the new type of attorney where they can give you a lot of opinions. Their job is to be cautionary and really make sure you understand, like, hey, go slow, just take the small steps, don't take the big steps. Dan, you've been an entrepreneur and a business owner all your life, just like I have. Where does that fit in entrepreneurship or starting a business? Do you go slow and take small steps, or do you have to go for it?
No, I think that, well, you'll get two different answers from two different people. I've always been a believer in, I go get it. I've done that my whole life. My feeling is I'm going to learn by making mistakes. That's the only way you learn.
Well, and your starting point would have been somewhere like mitigated, right? You're not going blind into, I'm going to go throw a bunch of poker chips on the table and think I know how to play this game.
No, I mean, like anything else, you want to know the answers to your questions. So,
yeah.
I think that, look, I was excited to talk about AI today for a number of reasons. The biggest concern for me is that, we're still, having people hire us for accelerators. I know that you're in charge of sales at 52, and you've said that now it's the average client takes about 79 days.
Yeah, it went from about 10 days to about 79
yeah,
days.
So about 79. That's a specific number. 79 days.
79.3. Right? So about.
Yeah. So, what does that mean? Well, that means that, again, AI is influencing people's decisions, or at least their fact finding, which is awesome. I love the fact that everybody is utilizing AI, because if you're not utilizing AI today, then it's a shame, because it's a powerful tool. But again, using it the right way is important. Going at it helter skelter. I know you just brought up, once you disclose your product idea out there in the out there in the social media world, now someone can copy that idea. Now you're not protected anymore.
Oh, it's
how much money did we just spend
Dan,
over the last?
I'm on every one of these calls,
3
and I will
months.
tell you, about 3 months ago, the change happened where, when you and I used to get on calls together, you'd see like a napkin or someone have to explain it to you, or someone would draw it right in front of us.
Yeah.
I went to the beach a couple of weeks ago and someone drew it in the sand.
Yeah.
When I show you now the conversations that Bobby and I
hope a wave washed up and
no, exactly.
It took that.
Technically, I didn't
away.
want to tell them it's public disclosure, but no, you should see the content and the things that people are showing me. Like, it's very high level, but you technically disclose your information at this current moment in time.
Right.
And that's dangerous, right? Because that
It
means you
is.
can't get an IP. You can't
I
like if
get
you're
it.
good.
But the plus side of that is that you're able to now go look at a rendering of your idea, or have
Yes.
AI help you develop your idea. So
Yep.
that is like incredible information that you no longer have to be a good
For
drawer
the first time
or a
ever, someone
graphic
the whole
artist.
team saw my barbecue belt.
Yeah. So again, that's the positive side. But I'm just simply afraid of this. We've spent close to $100,000 over the last 3 months developing our own proprietary AI model,
Mhm.
where anything that goes into it is proprietary to 52. So we're not disclosing anything to the
Right.
to the public. We're protected. So yes, we're utilizing AI as much as we possibly can, and it's some areas are really good. Well, let me rephrase it. Some areas are good. There are a few areas that are very good, and there's a lot that's just misleading.
The similarity, the online search engines is very similar right now. Those that were really good at inputting the right search
Right.
tools, like looking for the right specific things, that is really powerful. Where AI is actually very incredible. To your point, the 10 days to 78 days, it is the over what do they call it? Analysis paralysis, when you have too many options to look at
Right.
and you're trying to cut through the clutter. So look at, I think right now for us, it actually is a powerful tool to be able to like really identify our like value proposition differently and remove ourselves from the people that used to, well, everyone else can do this, this, and this. If you're doing it for a prototype versus a product, it's the same, it sounds the same,
Yeah.
but you just spent the same amount of money to get one versus doing it to get 1,000 to 5,000 in a
Yep.
scalable model.
Right.
So that's what AI does not necessarily know how to differentiate.
Exactly. And again, the research component of AI is incredible.
Oh,
But after you've done the research, now you have to compile that. So a human has to now look at that. And that human is an expert, at research, or an expert at um, creating the right research that's going to help make a decision, a thoughtful and an educated decision on whether you should move forward or what direction you should be moving forward in. AI is a tool,
yep.
but you do need human interaction. You do need that human emotion, because the last time I checked, we're in the consumer product space. And who buys our products?
Consumers.
Do robots buy our products?
No.
No. So humans do. So they have that emotional attachment, or
Right.
that,
I can't
they're the
remember if
ones
it's
that are,
left brain or right brain. The logical side of AI is incredible. The emotional side of AI is non-existent, right? That's where
Right.
you still need hey, is this going to sell?
Yeah.
Like ask that to AI, you'll never get an answer.
Right.
I have been in product sales. You've been in product sales
Yeah.
for our whole lives. So the answer is I can see something that's going to sell right from the get-go, how it would sell, what we need to sell, who would buy it, where it would
Yeah.
go.
Again, the frustration, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but the frustration for me, and everybody here has heard this numerous times, and I'm certainly not saying this to boast. I'm just simply saying that I do not have to work anymore. I'm at an age that I've done quite well my whole life being self-employed, and I do this now because it's fun. That's the 100% of the reason why I come to work every day, and I don't even call it work. It's fun. I surrounded myself with a great team, many who are smarter than I am. And I love coming to work because I love helping people. That's why we started this business. Even 10 years ago, I did not have to start this business with you, Peter.
Right.
I do it because I love it, keeps me young, keeps me, motivated. And the frustration I have is that when we first started this, we thought that InventHelp was our competitor. And, our friends at InventHelp are not our competitor. They do something entirely different than what we do. We tell people that we don't really do licensing opportunities. Because we haven't seen any out there that have been successful. So we decided to go the route of bringing a product to market from beginning to end. Nobody else does that. That is our value proposition. We did as much as we could to discourage people from spending the money at InventHelp if they wanted to actually capitalize on their proprietary product, right? And they weren't going to be able to do that through a licensing deal. So we just said, don't spend that money there, because it'll be less money for you to come hire us to actually get you to a point where you're now getting money back into your bank account. Okay. That was important to us.
Yep.
It's always been that way. Now, fast forward, now we have AI. And, AI is now a form of invent help where they're they're not selling you anything, they're providing you information, but the questions that we're getting are like, I want to, my head wants to explode.
That's why we keep you out of
It is
the idea department, Dan.
crazy. First and foremost, um, guy, I'm going to tell you, audience out there, we're experts at what we do, but by no means are we not learning every single day. We are going next month. I believe I know the team's going to China. We do almost every month now, but in September, or I think maybe it's end of September, beginning of October, is the Canton Fair, the world's largest fair to be introduced and network with manufacturers. However,
Yeah.
half of the manufacturers in China that have a website that tell you they're manufacturers are not. They are literally brokers. It's amazing what you can do today to look like you're a manufacturer.
Remember,
we
remember,
can
when,
go on a
remember when we
website,
started, we used to Google search or whatever.
beautiful factories.
Yeah, and we were like, wait a minute, there's nothing there.
And we would send Luke there.
Google Earth showed like, wait a minute, this doesn't match up. They just showed me this nice factory, gave me an address, I punch it in, it's not there.
Right. Google, I mean, we'd send Luke there, and Luke like, guys, there is no factory that looks like this there. So look at it. It's everybody markets that way. That's just human nature. I like today, I emailed a door manufacturer that I'm looking for a new front door, and I got an email from a manufacturer, and it had a name on it that I'd never recognized before, and it looked like they were legitimate, and they are legitimate, but in the end, but I click on, I fill out my name, so now I'm going to get more spam. But I gave my number and all that stuff, and guess who it was? It was Anderson Windows and Doors.
Yeah.
Who I've talked to 100 times because they have so many different aliases. They have so many marketing materials that they send out to capture your.
Well, that's called the A/B testing, and when you get good at it, you don't just A/B test. Okay. You put out all kinds of stuff out there, and AI can pump those out.
Yeah.
Like
the point I'm trying to make is that's happening in China. So at the end of the day, if AI is not making your product, they are not making it. They're telling you where you might go, and it's up to you whether you want to take the risk of sending money to a company that you've never been to in a foreign country and cross your fingers that everything works out. That is what we've been doing I've been doing it for 30 years. I have a network of manufacturers that I've actually been in the building. We vet our manufacturers.
We get those questions all the time, Dan. Like, how do we know what is the vetting process? It's 30 years of, do we keep the same factory for a 30-year period, or we have to get new factory? No. Like, it's like a tidal wave, right? You get, as they start to grow and they get like Walmart comes in, we're in the same factories, but who are they going to give you? Whose business are they going to take first? Our 1,000 to 1,500 piece order, or our 50,000 piece order?
Oh, we're going to get in line, but the fact that we are still relevant there, that they're still taking our business, because the aggregate amount of business that we do, although they're small orders, they do feel that we're important because we do so many different things. Yep. For instance, we talked about this the other day. We have a factory that we do work in with, Walmart has pretty much dominates the factory, but these guys make towels for Walmart and they're sick of it. They want to do other things. So we brought another soft goods product.
They love it.
There.
It's so unique. It's cute.
Unique.
It's fun.
Exactly. Can you imagine looking at towels for 20 years? That's all you looked at for 20 years and touch. But again, the point that I'm trying to make is AI will not make your product. They'll help you maybe create a logo. They'll help you with your initial design. They get
you on course.
Might even come up with some names. But again, they're suggestions. You still have to vet all of those things.
We track these things, and so far on our back end, AI has not won a name yet that passes the test that we know needs to. That can be trademarked, that can be unique, that is not that 5,000, and it actually gives you strong recommendations that we can trademark that. Which again, I can assure you, we have 1,200 patent attorneys and IP attorneys that we run these through, and they're like, no, this is going to get you in trouble. And again, if you don't know that's AI can give you the information, but the specificities is like where they can't, like a belt, a stitch, which ones cost more, which ones cost less. You can never get those details, maybe in 25 years, but it's the human interaction when someone looks at a product and goes, you got to move that handle just a little bit down because it doesn't fit the hand, or it'll save you $3 if you move it this way. Like those are the things that no one knows. AI can't learn. In fact, that is pure experience of someone. What's that adage? Like $10,000 service. It's a 2-second job with a hammer, but you paid $10,000. You didn't pay $10,000 for the hammer and the service. You paid for the knowledge.
Yeah. I never heard that, but that's a great one, Pete. That'll be your cliche for
there you go
forever. That's a good one. Can you remember what you just said?
It's on camera, so I don't have to anymore. I'm getting old, man.
Yeah. I guess to go circle back. My concern is I don't want people to go down the path thinking they're going to have a great result and then turn around and lose their money, fall into a pit where they just lost 50, 60, $100,000, and they call us back and we can't help them. I mean, unless you have more money. So
Right.
We're just trying to prevent people from making that mistake. Use AI for what it's really good at, and that's research. Again, the drawings that you showed me, they came up with great concepts. But
Yeah.
again, we always talked about this in the past. The most important aspect of manufacturing is DFM. That will never, ever change. So you have to be able to design a product so it can be manufactured cost effectively.
It's the moat.
So do you remember what that means?
Margins, operation, the
Advantage.
and your
Total
serviceable
addressable market. Yeah. So, if you follow those rules, that's a good start. But again, I really, when I came into the podcast room, I was thinking, I'm going to drop a bunch of F-bombs. I'm going to be like pulling my hair out, but that's just not who I am. I want to be that person that can get away with saying, you on the air, but
I swear a lot more.
We'll let Gary Vee do it. He can get away with it, but
I swear a lot more in the office when I get in front of the camera. Like somebody said, oh yeah, I saw a Peter video yesterday, and was it the one I'm alone? And I said, was it the one I'm angry? He goes, no, you're really calm. I said, that's when I'm angry.
Yeah. So again, I told Steve, who runs these podcasts, like, I got to jump in that podcast tomorrow. I got to get something off my chest. I guess I wasn't as emotional as I wanted to be, but it does upset me that, I've seen it twice now this week, an email sent back to us with 150 questions that are not relevant to anybody, quite frankly.
Look,
we had someone say, can I meet the designer? Can I meet the engineer? Can I meet the, no. I mean, you can meet your product designer because they're in-house here. Maybe the engineer, if we're using one of our own, or we could be using one at the factory. But the only way you're going to meet those other people is flying to China, which we welcome.
Which we've done, right? So we've
had
a podcast.
Clients go to China and meet the factories. I always go back to, guys, we have 750 clients that we brought to market. Call them.
Yeah.
You don't need to call it. You do your AI research, but call the clients that have actually gone through our journey and are actively selling their products right now. And that's more important than asking AI a question. I last night, look, it drives me crazy, but last night I asked AI a bunch of questions. The only time 52 Launch showed up, and you guys can all go to AI and type this in because this is accurate. I said, what do you think about 52 Launch? Would they be a good company to hire? I'm not even going to tell you the answer. You go find out. Type that in. What, should I hire 52 Launch to bring my product to market?
I'm curious what your answer was, because we've already.
Well, I just did it last night, and you guys can go search it, and it'll tell you exactly who we are and what we do.
Yeah.
And not surprisingly, the answer is they're a good company.
Oh yeah.
So,
it's really,
if you want to get a product to market from A to Z and create revenue, then 52 Launch is that company. And go AI that. That's what you should be AIing, not asking questions that
wound up
are just not relevant to the early stages of this journey.
Normally, I'm the one who does all the talking.
Yeah.
I can't.
No, okay, we've built.
I love it. Keep going.
We've built an incredible company to keep over 10 years,
I know,
and
we're
I was looking forward to AI, and I still am looking forward to it because it's actually going to make us better, stronger, and faster. But man, oh man, it's like, the bottom line is if you want to bring a product to market, go with your gut, You've got us to back you on the other side. If it's a horrible idea, we're going to tell you it's a horrible idea.
Right.
And we'll give you 10 other good ideas that we know.
We are not doing anything different than we did 10 years ago.
No.
The difference is
we're better at what
we are much better at
I
it.
would hire us today versus, I mean, poor people that hired us 10 years ago, we were.
Well, 10 years ago, we were asked to do something else.
Yeah.
People had failed at other places. Clearly, like we thought it was failure.
Yeah.
They actually got their services. They probably wouldn't have made a decision to move forward if they hadn't gone through the invention help process, right? Yeah. They got their patent, they got this, they got that. They got enough people that say, you know what, why hadn't you just bring this to market? And that's when our phone rang.
Right.
That's how old we are, because the phone used to ring. Now the lead comes in, right? The email comes in, the DM comes in. But now we're still doing the same thing. What we've been trying to do is prevent you from, like, I don't need any of the other services if you've decided to go and turn a business, like a product, into a business. If you haven't decided that yet, then, you know, look, we're going to be here when you've spent $50,000-$60,000 with other people, and hopefully you have
some trying to prevent you from doing that. That's the key thing.
That's the truth.
And there are a lot of choices out there. If you want to simply have your product designed, we can do that. But 10,000 other companies can do that as well. If you want the entire process done under one roof, where you have your own product developer, your own designer, your own CSM, that is what we've built.
I feel like Ron McLean letting Don Cherry go here. This is like a Canadian reference. I'm just sitting here and watching. But all right, let me ask you something that I know will trigger you.
Of course, Steve asked us one question. We haven't gotten off it yet.
No, this is Steve's used to that. He triggers us. He doesn't come in here with hey, let me ask you a few questions. He knows how to trigger us, man. I love that. Yeah. I'm going to trigger you right now. Help me identify for our clients that have hired us that's the rented mule conversation. Like people that come in and think that we're just the rented mule and we're going to do what they like. We're here to do what they tell us to do, and that's the way it's going to work. Help me understand. Should they hire us, or should we not have let them hire us?
Well, okay. What is one of our? We have 5. Am I thinking of
CSMs?
No, not CSMs. We have our mission statement, we have our vision statement, and we have 5 core values. Right?
Yep. Make clients win.
I'm getting old. Not getting old. I am old. So, one of them's, one roof, one team.
Yeah.
The other one is customers have to succeed.
Yeah.
Right. Customers have to succeed. Make clients succeed. I believe that's exactly what it says. And what does that mean? Well, sometimes that means that, and I saw you did a podcast where you told somebody their baby was ugly, which means not your baby, but your product is ugly, and we're not going to do it, right?
Yeah, I'm using that a lot.
We're going to be honest. We cannot, as a company, afford to have unhappy clients. End of discussion. I just won't have that, period. Are we going to have unhappy clients? Absolutely. Through a long journey, there's frustrations that boil over, there's challenges. In the end, our job is to bring a successful product to market. One that we believe in, obviously one that our clients have to believe in. And we are going to almost force a decision to make sure you don't make a mistake. Because if you make a mistake, we've made one by not enforcing what we think you should do. And that is the biggest challenge that we have, is, I'll say it right out loud. Why would someone pay the money they pay to hire us to not take our advice 100% of the time? I mean, I don't understand. Like, we've done this 750 plus times. We've seen every major disaster. We've seen fires at factories. We went through COVID. We haven't had a boat sink yet, thankfully. No. Although we have insurance for all that. But the point is that we've seen pretty much everything. And the great news is that we haven't brought a bad product to market. Sometimes it takes longer than it should, but in the end, if we follow our core value of every client has to succeed, then we have to be in control of those decisions.
Look,
we know better.
And you're 100% right. And here's the framework. So now the question is, like, let's prove that. How do you do that? And I'm going to tell you, we talk about the minimal successful product, right? This is where the invention help companies, when you go to them and they never have to make it, how over designed can they do something?
Yeah, right.
There's no constraint. Right. It's so easy to be in theoretical world. But when you have to decide that you have to make something, you have to have a lot more responsibilities. And those responsibilities are, look for your minimal successful product, that thing that is a 1.0 starting point that delivers your value proposition extremely well. The next one is KISS. Keep it simple. And I will eliminate the next S because of your stupid that happens. And that's not like, you got to understand to get rid of that other S, because you just got to keep things simple. Then you have the moat theory, margins, operations, your main advantage in the market, and what your like your total serviceable market. If you do those three things, how can you get off course? And that's what nobody focuses on. Everyone wants to see the $1 billion idea. I will even say total addressable market. I just want to know where the first 1,000 people are, because if I can find those 1,000, I know I can find 5,000. I know I can find 50,000. So I'm not looking. I don't care if it's a $1 billion industry. There is people online with a single product doing $6,000 to $12,000 a day or a week or a month. Like, that's what you need to look at. It's not total serviceable market. It's what is your market share that you are having the minimal operational costs that you can to be successful with a side hustle product.
Right. So let me ask you a question. Is
Sure.
it easier? Would it be easier for us as a company to sell a $2,500 program where we're just quickly rendering your product idea and giving it to you and say, yeah, go, this is what we can do? Or is it?
No, it's a great look. You're going to get a reaction out of me, so I
No,
can.
is that easier than what we do? The answer is yes or no.
The answer is absolutely, except for one thing.
Okay.
I have a principal problem with that. I don't want to deliver something that doesn't end the result where the client's happy.
Exactly.
If I'm going to make clients succeed, how do they succeed when I give them a picture?
How does that go to our core value?
Made?
Exactly. So, and the other question would be, like, why? If our core value is to make a customer successful, how does that? What is our differentiator? That's a better question. What is our differentiator? Why are we different than any other company?
It's real simple. Look, we have the core people. Everyone has a specific role to do, and they know how to do it well because we've trained them to do it that way. The hardest part is when they know what they need to be doing and someone says, oh, I don't want to do it this way. Can we do it this way? And we know better. That is when I kind of put you in the rented mule category. Like, we're not that company. We know better. Follow our process, because if you deviate from our process, I can't make you succeed. I can only guide you to success. And I don't want to do that. That's why I'm very critical of, like, when you're on a call with me or Bobby or Dan, that is the thing I'm looking for. Because if you are not flexible in your approach, your objective to reach and be successful is my only mission with you.
Right.
And if we don't do that, how do we fail?
I love Pete's answer. It's always long.
Yeah.
It's never short. Our principal value proposition, what makes us different than anybody else, is right in our mission and vision statement and our core values. Go to the website, you can read them. One of the most important ones in there is that we are one team under one roof.
Oh, yeah.
And you can hold us accountable and responsible for what we do. Again, 95% of our products that are manufactured overseas, which again, we are experts at, they have more than one component that needs to be made. So good luck trying to source your packaging at one company in China, your injection molded part in another, and God forbid you have an electronics, you've got to now bring in a third factory, and somehow you got to figure out what factory you want to have that marry all of those products.
You're a conductor of an orchestra, and nobody wants to play well together.
And you've got three different companies, potentially in three different regions of China. So again, at the end of the day, that is our value proposition, is that we handle it all from beginning to end and take full responsibility to deliver your product and launch your product. And that's what makes us happy, proud. It's what inspires our team to do a good job. And that's never going to change. No. I mean, that is our value prop. And by the way, very few companies, if any, do what we do because it's hard. It's hard to do it. It's taken us 10 years and we're still not at my level of satisfaction.
You mean this isn't 1, 2, 3 succeed?
Yeah. So
look, on that note, Steve,
come back in a couple of weeks and you'll see more gray hair.
Right. I would love to have Sandra on this podcast to kind of go into deeper detail of how, everyone thinks we're vertical. We're horizontal in the beginning, but as you scale, you become vertical, because there might be equipment that you're not going to invest in yet. The factories will help us. But when you start to scale, that is when things get easier and you become more vertically integrated.
I had a client, I just met with Sandra this morning.
Yeah.
Sandra's our production manager. And I met with him this morning, went through every single deal that we have 150 active clients right now. 150 that are in the production stage, 215 active. But I went through every one, and he identified some of the areas that he's having challenges with sourcing. Hopefully I'm able to help them with that. But at the end of the day, when you're bringing a brand new product to market that no one's ever made, it's hard to find a manufacturer that wants to do that. Mind you, at a quantity that is not outrageous.
Right.
So it takes time. And again, if it were easy as 1, 2, 3, like you said, everybody in the world would
I'd be doing it.
Everybody in the world would be doing it. So it just takes time. And by the way, it's crazy, but the longer it takes, guess what that means? The longer it takes means
someone else.
It's harder for somebody else to duplicate it because it took so long, and people give up. Instinctively, people quit.
Yeah. What did Kennedy say? We don't do things because they're easy. We do things because they are hard.
Right. Hard. So again, I always say, turn that frown upside down. The harder it is, the better off we're going to be.
Yeah, I agree.
What is our motto around here? We never ever give up.
So that's
right.
That's
Success
a great segment.
Is not,
it's not guaranteed.
Failure is not
success not guaranteed. Failure is not an option.
Great.
That's the way it is. So.
Yeah.